Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with the XTransbots, the MX-25, the Maedas. And this is a figure with Midas touch, maybe. And this concludes the journey of getting all the Omnibots. We're going to do the comparison to, I guess, Optimus Prime and the Omnibots and all that other good stuff. But I did get to Show Z Storm. I've linked down below where you can get yours because you get them before they sell out. Get them while they're only under $100, $97. That's a good price for a masterpiece scale figure with some diecast in it and some paint and all that good stuff. But I'm going to tell you the pluses, minuses, and the fiddly areas of the transformation that I've come across. But overall, actually pretty solid transformation. But let's take a look at Maedas. Coming up. All right, so here is the box, and that's some nice artwork. Maedas. And coming around to the side, here's the back. Got some tech specs if you want to read those tech specs. And some XTransbots inspired artwork there. Some nice fancy writing. Speaking of art, this box probably would make a nice little collage with the other ones. I'm sure that's how it works. And you've got a card. I don't talk much about cards because I don't keep them separate like a separate collection, but yeah, there's the box. All right, so here's the car mode, and it looks pretty good, actually. Definitely is matching the original car, and yeah, I like the way it looks. I do. I think it looks what I remember, and what I remember is over here. I have one. I do. So we'll do a comparison to the original vintage, but a pretty solid car overall. Has a couple of interesting features to it, so I guess, since there's not a whole lot to this, let's get into it. Now, we are to pop the doors open. It's nice to give you this little notch to kind of get into it, to start opening it, then you slide it back, and then you can open it all the way, or you can get it to however you want it, so that you can have that look of opening doors, and both doors open, and it's a thing. It also has the side view mirrors on it, and it is clear blue. It does match the Takara pretty much from what I remember with the Takara blue. And yeah, so nice. I don't think this was necessary to make opening doors at all. And it's got rubber tires, so that's necessary. But I just don't think it was necessary for the opening doors. The gimmicks like that just seem to be unnecessary. Also, the other gimmick is you can open these up right here, and it's always tight. Get the party started here. Kind of seems like you need to push in on it and pop it up at the same time. That's how it feels. There it goes, and then pop it up at the same time. And there's the lights, the headlights. So you got a party of opening doors, headlights. Didn't quite open this one yet, but it can be done. And voila! There it is with both doors open and the headlights and all that kind of stuff. And if you really want, you can... There's another gimmick I'm not even going to get into, but you can pop this open. You can do the arms to the side. The other gimmick I'll just leave for... it's just partially through the transformation. You just go partially through it. I'm going to leave that alone. For comparison, here it is next to the original G1, and I have to say that mine is like I took two and built one, and I got like $5 each. I got like $10 in my vintage one, but it matches up pretty close. It does a pretty decent job there overall of matching the original. It is a darker, like more of a smoke gray instead of a silver. Yeah, trying to get correct lighting on it that you can see, but yeah, it's not a much darker gray than the original sort of silver that we got with the original one. But where we come from, where we're going, well, here we are with Omnibots and masterpiece scale. All right, for the transformation, I'm just gonna go at it. I'm gonna skip that other silly thing that's going on there, which this does look like that should be tabbed in, but we're going to pop this open here. We're going to open, the doors are kind of open, but one of the goals, let's go ahead and disconnect here so we can free up the arms on here, and I feel like my door's getting in the way here. These need to come down, this needs to come down, and then the arms can be free enough to come out. And with that, we need to unlatch all of this stuff here to come out and fold out the chest pieces here. And let's go ahead, say ahead, and get the head positioned properly so that we can start with all the rest of this fun stuff that's about to happen with this guy. And then we're going to fold down. I'm kind of needing to go up with the camera a bit. We're going to need to fold down on the windows and get them ready to insert this. But we have to flip these arms around first to create space for these windows to go in. But once you tab the arm in to the slot there, then it gives you a little bit more leverage for some rotation. Straighten this out. Then it's going to rotate on this joint, not that joint. And then we will have room to bring the door around. And the way this is going to work, it's on a double hinge there. You're going to hinge it in. Is that the right hinge spot for it to work? Because there's a lot of hinging going on in here. But this to tab in, and then this is going to have to tab into here, and all of that good stuff. But that seems to work. Then we got to come around here with this arm, and we have to fold in, pull this arm out and fold this all into itself right here, and then that's going to tab into that. And then we take this handout here. It's a handout, and I guess we'll just do the other side because it's not really that challenging, but it's actually not hard at all. Let's get this pushed into place, straighten this arm out, and then fold it around so that we can fit the door and window in to here. And then we can tab all this in. And we're starting to true all that up. Then we come back here, and I like to do the legs first, but I don't think in this case it's really that wise to do the legs first. We are going to take this and bring this in. Now this is all going to tab in. There's a tab and slot there. And this is going to come open. We have got to open these pieces here too, which open, and then this is going to come, and this is going to tab into this right here. Can be a little tricky. It's going to tab into there, and then this one's going to tab into that. Let me get this done proper like. With all this, we've got a lot more to do. See, it's going to keep flipping up unless I can get that tight in there, but let's work on these legs. So we're going to split the legs, and then one of the things we're going to do, it's going to open itself up. If you do that, like the panel will open itself up, and then we can slide it out, and then we have to bring it back in for the knee here. So get that knee in there tight, which that is in there pretty good. And then we'll come back around here to the back of it, and we are, yeah, there it is. That's where it's supposed to tab in for the knee. Then we got to do this foot. By the way, I just didn't finish that arm. Let me finish that arm. As for the rest of this foot, we bring it around to the front here, so it's easier to untab it and see what's going on there. And then you're gonna have to bring it down on this, and then we're gonna have to rotate it around like so, which is kind of typical type of foot thing that's going on. And then we're gonna fold up a lot of this stuff here to make this foot. So we'll unfold first. We're gonna first unfold it, and then unfold this. So, and this is die cast, by the way. This is really, really thin die cast, but it's die cast. Now with this foot, what we're going to do is fold it up and bring it in to here. And it's going to make, so there's 2 points of contact here. Now I'm kind of thinking you can probably make it easy on yourself. You tab it into here, and then we tab this into here. And make that foot. Tab and tab. Yeah, it seems to be making contact. It feels like this should go a little bit more into that. I'll mess that here in just a minute. And then I'll do the other leg off screen. All right, so here he is all transformed up. In his bot mode, I will go over like 2 things that I didn't, I guess, show as well. I did better off camera. And I showed them, but I think I did better off camera. So getting them seated in. Not a bad transformation overall. Nothing really broke. I'm glad. What I'm glad about is they didn't make you tuck in these side view mirrors, because that would be like an extra daunting step of something that could pop off. But for this back, I did like stick my finger way up in here and give a lot of pressure to put this into that spot right there, and it holds a lot better now. But that was something like I had to do off camera and just kind of a weird angle. And then down here, just making sure all of these pieces of the foot align with itself right, which I don't know if I 100% got that one in there, but they align with themselves just right, and it looks good, and it holds, and it does its job. So pretty decent figure, okay transformation. I mean, I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm glad somebody's actually making these. I mean, I just did the video yesterday of the Power Dashers, and like something like this is in the same vein as the Power Dashers. That, yeah, it's a shock that these even exist. I mean, I'm still stunned XTransbots went through the trouble of doing this, which a video tomorrow I've got coming out is what didn't XTransbots make. Start thinking about that. What didn't XTransbots make? But let's get a look at this dude. He's got some very metallic, almost like back metal on his eyes. And he does have all of this tampograph paint on here, which we're going to see when we do the comparison to the G1. That is all G1-esque goodness going on there. And he's got some paint. Fabulous paint was revealed when you saw his arms today. Yes, a little He-Man talk going on there. And then down lower, just same stuff we saw in the alt mode. Nothing really all that special. On the lower section, pretty clean bot overall. Very, very good how they went about this. But let's go ahead and jump into articulation, and I want to talk about his ET fingers. His head side to side, up and down, and it is not ball jointed, and it is decent in articulation. Shoulder, he does have a bit of a butterfly in here, and then a little bit limited on the range for his shoulder outward movement, just to design. Bicep swivel. It's double jointed in the arm, and you can sort of get it. His hands, they move in and out, and he has an opposable thumb. But this is what I'm talking about with the ET finger. So if you got like sort of the curved typewriter fingers where they put them all together, it matches them all together with the sort of typewriter finger, but he's got a separated thumb so he can point. But what's the point of pointing with a curved finger? It's a weird thing. I mean, it's not the only company that's done that, and it's not the only figure I've seen this on, but it is what it is. Waist swivel, ab crunch. On the XTransbots is known for just like this tiny little space. Actually, that's a lot better than some of the ones they've done, but it's just like where it comes together at the waist, there's nothing holding it except a screw hole filler right there. And then you've got hiding hip flaps going past the 90 showgirl style, right? And then we've got all friction, no real hardware. And if you got his arm out of the way, like his leg could go up even higher. And he could probably stand in that position. Give me a second. watch him fall, but you know, I hate to make that claim, but he can make a standing. Look at that high kick. But I could probably do that. Yeah, I can still do that. Yeah. He's got some thigh swivel going on right here, which is quite nice. Why did I do that? 360 thigh swivel. Double jointed on the knee. That's a lot of articulation in this figure. Which it's got me even wanting to make that video right now for tomorrow about what XTransbots hasn't made and why. What's up with Carbots, you know? So with Carbots, so you got all this. It kind of falls apart if you want to take too much in the articulation in the foot. I put the lower leg back together, but yeah, really decent articulation for this guy. Now for his guns. All right, you gotta like put it into his hand and try to tab it in. So this is tricky, so tricky. Which he doesn't have to have it tabbed in to hold it, but it's nice to go through the trouble of getting it tabbed in to hold it, and it's keyed left and right. Usually these are, you can put them on either side. It doesn't make a difference. But this is the way they've designed it with the shield cover, which, you know, they're trying to match the G1, I guess. I don't have the accessories for the weapons for my G1. So this is fun and new to me to get the weapons for a camshaft guns. And yeah, he can do some fun little poses here with his dual wielding that he's got going on. And yeah, there's Camshaft with his guns. Why'd I take the tripod back? Take the figure back. Okay, there we go. Get Camshaft with his guns. This is a really good time for comparison time. I do think it's fun to kind of show the transformation of the vintage one. As simplistic as it is, that it still shares some of the kind of, I don't want to say the engineering so much as it's just they kind of do the same thing, which I like that. I like it when, you got to pull these out as you're rotating them. I like it when Masterpiece kind of goes in the similar direction or sort of the same vein as what the G1 did. But let's pull these arms out. This is a little different than some of the other ones back in the day. It was kind of a fun one. For comparison time, now I'm thinking about it, in alt mode I probably should have compared it to more stuff. But I wanted to get to the meat and potatoes, which is the bot mode. And with that, here he is. You can see my raggedy sticker matches that sticker. You can see the waist, which you probably can't. So his waist has a sticker, well, 2 stickers, which they mimic over here, which is really nice. And instead of an Autobot insignia, you get a QC. Which quality control, like nothing broke, it works the way it should. And actually the G1 one's having more trouble than the Masterpiece. Cybertron's greatest measuring stick is Optimus Prime. This is Magic Square, still my favorite. I think he's the cleanest and the most G1-y tune looking one out of all of them. I still like MP44 just for show, but I like bringing this guy out the most. And yeah, that's size-wise, scale-wise, that's how it works. Let's put him with his brothers in arms. All good things must come to an end, but I think this is coming to an end in a good way. He's on frame really well. They've done a fantastic job with these 3 figures, these Omnibots, and to have them in Masterpiece representation, to have them looking this good, have them looking this amazing, I am highly impressed. XTransbots did a great job with these. Are they absolutely perfect? No, I think that we could have had a little tighter joints on the lower, like the feet area, a little bit of stability issues, and these guys, tiny stability issues, they still work fine in my display. They still work fine standing right here. Also want to point this out. They're a little bit bigger than, say, a Wheeljack from Takara. And so I've always said I want bigger Carbots, which still kind of opens up. I'm just going to hold that thought till tomorrow, because this is what tomorrow's whole video is about. But yeah, what would XTransbots do with some of these figures they haven't made yet, some of these characters they haven't made. So they've done a really good job with these, saying that A, they exist, B, they look great, and C, none of them broke. What more is there to say? I'm very satisfied with this figure. This is my look at the XTransbots 85 Maedas, or the figure with the Midas touch, and I think he looks fantastic. I think they did a good job with him. The transformation, there's a couple little fiddly areas that I just wasn't 100% sure I got him tabbed in all the way, but off camera, yeah, it's way easier to tab him in. And yeah, aside from all of that, I'm glad these are here. I'm glad this journey's over, but you can continue your journey at Shozy Store. And remember, TH supports the reviewer to help the channel out, and you can get this guy right now for under $100. And yeah, once he sells out, they do recolors and stuff, but I don't think you'll ever get the original ever again from XTransbots. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Jeremy, hang out.